Checkout tracking by the NPD Group brings you a receipt collecting system that gathers data anonymously through technology we created, providing your businesses with answers.
Take it away. Hi, everyone. So, does everybody likes tacos here? Because I do. What about some pastor tacos or some fish tacos? I love them. Or the classic steak ones. This is Taco Master, a game that makes you feel hungry. Sorry, it doesn't have sound, but that's an animation we did as a teaser for the last update we had for the game. There you can see how you can play. You have the orders, and you have to tap on the order, see what ingredients you have to put on the taco, and then you grab the ingredients and deliver the orders to the clients. It's a very simple game mechanic. So, when we started, we wanted to create a game, a party game for a console platform, the Nintendo Wii, and we had a lot of mini games. One of those mini games was a game about making tacos, but we look up on the rise in mobile market, and we chose to grab some of those mini games and adapt them to mobile. One of those was Taco Master. So after the release, we were surprised about how people liked the game. The first year we had 1 million downloads, and currently we have more than 3 million downloads. We also in 2012 won Best Latin American Mobile Game on the MTV Awards, Game Awards. And we even managed to get on the first place above Angry Birds on the Mexican paid app. So today I'm going to talk about what we think are the key features that make Taco Master be downloaded that many times, and what I think about if you want to create games for Latin America. So the first thing is that you have to know what are those key features your game has, and then you must be sure that your player gets those. One of those key features is attention to detail. This is one of the first concepts we have for the game. We had more ingredients. We even had a refill button. But the things that remained after that, our dev team told us what were the things that we have to get rid, and one of those was the refill button, but we kept this is design things, pattern recognition. Our brain loves patterns, and it's always looking for patterns everywhere. Memory. You have to open the order, and they'll tell you what ingredients each taco needs. So, but when you are going to make the tacos, the order closes, so you have to memorize them. Time pressure, because the clients go away if you are not fast enough, and a way for the player. You need a way for the player to express themselves. So we have multi-gestures, so you can grab multiple ingredients and deliver multiple tacos. So each player plays the game different. And then we come to aesthetics. This was the first prototype. You can see we tried for more realistic textures, but it didn't look very appetizing. And then that's the second version, when we realized for the memory to work, the memory design thing to work, you need to have well-designed icons on the scene, because the players, when we tested it, it was difficult to know what ingredients to put on the tacos. So we created better icons, better looking icons, and we realized the ingredients are the protagonists of the game. For example, here it doesn't have a good shape. It just has colors to differentiate them. And here we changed that. We have unique shapes, but something's missing yet, and that's the small things there, the ingredients that are beside the icon. Here we close the memory cycle thing, because you have the icons that appear on the notes, and you have the small ingredients that appear on the scene. And that way, the player, it's easier to know what ingredients each taco needs to have. And we wanted to create an identity for the game. We released this game in 2011, and the games that were out is now called like very casual games. So our icons were similar to that, but later we realized we need to create an identity for the game, and so we created the last title. Another thing is, when you're eating tacos, you need to feel you're on the street. So fat and the street feel is there on the scene too. And what a lot of players have told us is that they feel hungry. They want tacos when playing the game. So our artists and sound designer worked around that, so that always each new design makes you feel hungry. At first, the game was just an arcade game, an endless arcade game, but in October of 2011, we got the first update where you have to tap on zombie hands so that they don't steal your tacos. And a year later, we worked on Tropical Fury, the teaser you just saw. There you have to tap on the crabs so that you may be able to grab more ingredients and continue making tacos. And our objective was simple. We wanted to show the world how real tacos were made. The story goes that the game has a little story where the taquero, Gabriel, has a friend that steals the ingredients, and you, the player, has to help Gabriel to recover those ingredients and get more money to continue the business. In Mexico, we used to say there's no good taco if it doesn't have a good salsa. And I think that if you are doing a game for some market, you have to put some things that only that market knows, and when they saw them on the game, they will feel that connection. We look for a personality that's obviously like funny and proud, and our voice actor, and he's from the north of Mexico. He came with good phrases like taquerazo como yo, and haz taco. If you download the game, you can hear those. So building a character is very important because it gives you transmedia material. It gives you a way for the player for the game to have an identity, and we work for the character to be a real man. After that, we came to Game Connection. We took there like 4 games to show, and Chilingo got interested. The first one is Finger Shoes. It got well received. The other one was Torture Bunny, and the fourth one was canceled, and the third one is Taco Master. And actually, everyone thought Taco Master was the weakest of the 4 games because it was very local, but it was fun. And at the end, it is the one that remained. With Chilingo, we learned a lot. For example, that was our first tutorial. It was boring. Nobody would read it. And we looked for a forced tutorial that teaches the player how to play the game really, really fast. In less than 30 seconds, you know how to play the game. And I think that for casual games, that's one of the most important things, to teach the player how to play quickly. We look for simplicity, and for example, before the notes were all of the same color, and then we changed that we have different colors on the notes, and it tells you how many tacos to do on the notes. So with Chilingo we learned a lot, and I think that was an important thing that contributed to the success of the game. Now for the second part, I'm going to talk about Latin America, and I think that there's not only ninjas and Vikings on games. We can look for very interesting stories, and Latin America has a lot to offer in culture and myths and legends. For example, the small statue there, that's an idea for an enemy. It's called Cihuateteo, and it's about the women that died at childbirth, and their souls remain and haunt men and children, driving them mad. And I think that that's for a very small example of the variety of stories we have. But I'm not saying you have to make an Skyrim about pre-Hispanic culture or an Aztec Skyrim, although I would really love that. But maybe the world isn't ready or isn't very interested in that, so we have to put small bits of our culture in the games we do, so that the world may get that interest, and with time we may get those games we want. So one of those things is gastronomy. That's very important for I think for all Latin America, and how many game mechanics we can get for preparing food. And if you're going to do a game for any market, not just Latin America, I think you have to live among them and eat among them, know what they like, what they don't. For example, if you want to eat tacos, you have to do it that way. You have to lean forward and raise your little finger, and that's how tacos are if you want to eat them. So Latin America has a lot of potential. We've seen very successful games. Well, for example, Kerbal Space Program, but a lot of startups are coming up, and indie dev studios. And I think that because it's just creating an industry in Latin America, we don't have to compete among each other, but collaborate. For example, we did this with a big company back in Guadalajara, where Kaxan is located. We put a product of them inside the game, but not as an ad, but as an element that you can play with. So it's not intrusive. Mexico is the third biggest consumer of video games in America, and it's 3 times bigger than its closest competitor, Brazil. So it will continue to rise. So to end this, the devil is in the details. We looked for details in our game to be right. We got an emotional connection with the player through the taco craving thing, that you want to eat tacos while playing. And I think Latin America has a lot of stories to share. So we are located in Guadalajara, Kaxan. We do intellectual property, original intellectual property, like 3D animation and games. So if you want to go visit us, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Any questions? I have a question for you also, actually. So I'm very glad that you made a point that localization is more about than just languages. You know, it's about the design and look and feel of the game. But going back to the languages, I was also wondering, did you translate this game also in the various different languages of Latin America, or was it just basic Spanish?
It's in Spanish and English currently, yeah. But I think, well, most of them it's Spanish. So
okay, so people in the different countries are not offended if you, for example, only have like a Spanish version of your game?
No, we really hadn't complaints about that, so it's okay.
Okay, thanks. Anyone else? All right. Well, Rodolfo, thank you so much for your insights, and once again, big round of applause.